A small group of racist fanboys were trying to spear an online campaign to get people to boycott the new Star Wars movie. And the reason they said they wanted people to boycott the new Star Wars movie was because the hero of the new set of films is a black man. Well, don't these guys understand that Star Wars is a universe? A universe filled with aliens, droids, Wookiees, and all sorts of creatures. And in that universe of creatures, you would think that there will be people of all races. So, out of all of these people and aliens and droids and monsters, you would think that the possibility of an African American being the hero in one of those stories would be, happen sooner or later because it's a universe. And a universe of characters means diversity all around. What I find with a lot of these sci-fi and fantasy fans who are racist is that they want everything to be revolving around white males. And the reason why they want things to revolve around white males is because a lot of them feel insecure and inadequate about themselves, and they live vicariously through these kinds of characters. They identify with these characters, and they want the characters to remain white. And some of them even feel entitled to the heroes being white males because over the last 50, 60 years of the whole sci-fi and fantasy genre, that's all they have seen. They have not ever seen an African American, take the lead in a fantasy franchise outside of maybe a handful of characters like, Mantis, Blade, or Goliath in Gargoyles. So they have not really seen that many characters. And they think that, Star Wars, which is the top franchise out of all of the fantasy franchises out there, is supposed to remain white and pure. Well, this isn't the case at all. Again, Star Wars is a universe, and in a universe, anybody can be the main character in any story. So, a universe does not mean revolving around white males. And this is something that many of your white males out here just don't understand. Now, I even heard a case of a man who they said killed himself as a result of hearing that the hero of the new Star Wars trilogy was going to be a black man. And that shows you how dysfunctional, some of these racist fanboys are out here, and that they have too much of a personal and emotional attachment to these characters. Now, I've been a comic fan and a fantasy fan, since I was 4 years old. And I understand that they're just stories. I don't own these characters. I don't own their stories, and the creators can do whatever they want. It's my dollar. I can do whatever I want with that. Now, this whole campaign, to boycott this film pretty much shows, how people feel entitled to these characters and they feel that it's their right to have this character as a white male. Again, it's not theirs. I mean, George Lucas himself pretty much sold Lucasfilm and all the properties to Disney, so it's Disney's. Disney can do whatever they want with their properties. Now, these guys have a right to say that they don't want to spend their money with them, and they have that right to do that. But to organize a boycott, you know, shows how backwards they truly are. I mean, this is not this is fiction. This is somebody's property. They can do whatever they want with it. It's and at the end of the day, it's just a movie. So I wouldn't really take it that personally. I mean, if people wanted to have a green Martian be the hero of a Star Wars story, that's all well within the realm because this is a universe of characters. There are a whole host of people who could be heroes. A hero doesn't have to be a white guy. I mean, who says that the universe is populated with white guys? That's the notion that a lot of people have gotten from watching so much fantasy over the last 50 years. If you look at fantasy from the pulp era of the 1930s all the way to today, you'll see that people think that all fantasy is supposed to be white guys, and that's not the case at all. Fantasy, especially in a universe, can be people of any race. I mean, They can be white, they can be black, they can be green, they can be Hispanic. They not well Hispanic. Yeah, they can have a Hispanic planet. I mean, this is fantasy. It's based on somebody's imagination and somebody's interpretation of what they want to be a reality. So, a fantasy world can be whatever anyone wants it to be. So, I look at this whole, idiotic, silly campaign to boycott the Star Wars trilogy, the new one that's coming up, if it is a trilogy, as utterly ridiculous. I say, go out and go watch this movie based on the content, not the color of the characters. You know, Skin tone should not be an issue, story should be an issue, plot should be an issue, character development should be an issue. And that's what I'm going to judge the movie based on. That's what I judged, episodes 1 through 6 on. And this is what I will probably judge episodes 7, 8, and 9 on, if it goes that far. That's what I'm going to judge it on. I'm going to judge it on the quality of the story, quality of the characters, and, that's what I would say, you judge it on. I didn't really like 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, I love those movies, to this day. I have them on VHS and DVD, and I'm willing to, give 7, 8, and 9 an objective look. And I'm going to judge it again based on the contents of the story, not the color of the character's skin. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.